Alright guys, welcome back to the video. Welcome back to the channel rather. My name is Akudinobi Lawrence, and in this video I'm going to be going in detail around how we've been able to accumulate over 1,000 pips. Yes, 1,000 pips from gold. And we've been on this trade for the past 3 weeks. And it's been an amazing ride, honestly. And this results was actually shared on the community, and you guys kind of asked that you guys would love us to make a video around how we were able to take opportunities of this trade, so you guys can actually learn. So we're putting out this video out there for you guys to be able to understand what we actually saw from the market at that particular time, and why, and what gave us the confidence for us to be able to ride this trade up from that very moment up until now. So just make sure you don't skip this video, because there are lots to learn from this video. All right, guys. And I'll be starting from the weekly time frame down to the 1 hour, and then I'm going to be showing you guys how we've been able to take opportunity of this trade. And also, I would also just give you guys some clue in terms of some futuristic direction in terms of how gold might end up playing out. All right, and then if you guys can notice from the weekly time frame, gold has actually been on an uptrend market. All right, so gold has been on an uptrend market. It's been moving in an uptrend direction, and if you notice, the price on gold as from this low that was actually what created on gold that we sort of have here, right? This low that we had here, and then this high that we had here. All right, so this is the high on gold, and then let's ignore this movement that we had here, this first high and the second high. If you notice, price actually was started from this particular direction, this low that was created, and then we had this first high here on gold. And if you notice, gold came back to sort of retest this support channel that we had here, and then this is the resistance zone, right? And then this is the support zone right here on gold. And if you notice, gold has sort of been ranging within sort of on a weekly time frame. This is more of a consolidation, an accumulation, a movement, sideways movement on gold, right? But on the daily, on the 4 hours, it might not give you that same sort of bias. All right, so, and if you notice, we had the first high that gold actually was created here. All right, so gold spiked up and then made this first high that we had here, and then we had price come back up after testing this support zone to sort of return this resistance zone and then create another high here, and then we had a third bounce of this same high, and then this was what actually gave us signal to us that gold is actually going to go bearish, because these are short patterns, right? And once you are able to spot this sort of short patterns on the weekly time frame, it gives you this kind of significance that price is going to fall. Like price on gold is going to go bearish, because we had a first test at this resistance zone here and this resistance channel as well, and then we had a second bounce of the same resistance zone, and then we had a third bounce. So price is either going to do two things. Is either going to break off this resistance channel, right? And then, or just drop. But once we start noticing these spikes on gold, which means that sellers are actually taking control of price at this particular high here. So that was what gave us a kind of a directional bias that price on gold is going to dip. And since then, we've actually been bearish on gold from this high. And if you notice the direction on gold so far, gold from this zone here tested this zone that we had here, and then we had price make an impulse move to this high, came back to sort of retest this support zone and this support channel, and then we had price go back up to sort of test this resistance zone, came back down to test the support zone, and then we had this last test of this resistance zone. So that was what actually was sort of signified to us that the price on gold is actually going to go bearish from that zone. So let me take these drawings of my charts so we can go down to the daily time frame, and all right, let's leave those drawings. All right, for now I will leave those drawings. Let's go to the daily time frame and let me show you guys something, and let's see this pattern way more better. All right. So yeah, so this is the daily time frame on gold. This is the daily time frame on gold. Just like I analyzed, the price on gold has been ranging within this channel, and then before we had the first test of this resistance zone here, and then we had the second test of this support and this support zone and this support channel, right? And then we had another bounce off here, and then we had another bounce off here, and then we had price making and forming sort of an M pattern at this zone here. If you notice, you'll be able to see the M pattern way more clearly. That means more of a double bottom, double top, and then that is what actually what also signifies that price on gold is going to come drop, right? And then this is a critical zone as well. This is a critical zone because we had a couple of bounces of this resistance zone, guys. All right, and then yeah. So moving forward, let me take off these drawings right now on my chart. Let's go to the 4 hours time frame. So on the 4 hours time frame on gold, you guys should not pay close attention to the 4 hours time frame on gold. On the 4 hours time frame on gold, exactly, we had this high that gold sort of created here on this very price movement. And just like I explained to you guys, the price on gold as what from this low that we had here, all right, the price on gold has been what has been bullish, all right, and then bullish in the sense that we're having this sort of movement on the price of gold. Let me construct this channel, and then if you notice, we're having multiple bounce of this channel. We had the first bounce of this channel at this zone, right, and then we had another bounce of this channel at this zone, and then we had a third bounce currently in terms of the current price that gold is at this point in time. And then let me move this channel and then kind of insert it down here. And then if you notice, this kind of gives you an identification that price has sort of been ranging within this channel from this zone here up to this zone here, down to this zone here. All right, so what gold has been doing sort of, let me take this off and explain better to you guys. What gold has been doing sort of, this is a triple bottom that we had here. The first low, the second test, and then we had the third test. And then if you notice what we sort of had here, we had, this is the neckline of this triple bottom that we had here, right? And then if you notice, we had sort of a break with this candle on gold, right? We had a breakout with this huge bullish candle on gold, right? So this is the break up of this resistance channel, which is the neckline of this triple bottom that we had here, and then price went back up to this high, and then we had a retest around this zone. So this is the retest that we had here on gold. So this kind of signifies that price on gold is actually what's going to go pretty bullish from this zone. And if you notice, since then, price on gold has actually what's been bullish sort of on the 4 hours time frame on gold. All right, and then since then, price on gold has been moving within this channel. So we had price make from this low, made an impulse move, all right? So the price on gold made an impulse move, and then we had a correctional move back to this channel, and then we had another impulse, right? So let's hold on a minute. So let me kind of delete this and then construct this better for you guys. All right, so we had this, so guys, we had this impulse move, and then we had this correctional move to this resistance support channel. We had another impulse, okay, so, and then here we had another impulse, move, right? And then we have currently having a correctional move on gold on the 4 hours time frame. So now, and then if you notice, this is a critical zone that gold is currently sitting at this point in time, right? This is a critical zone that gold is actually what's sitting on. And if you notice as well, we also had that sort of critical zone here as well. So we had this critical zone that gold made this impulse move into before making a sort of a correctional move back down to the zone, and then we had price push back up again to make another impulse move here that we had here, and then made another correctional move down to this zone. So this is a critical zone that gold is actually what currently sitting at. So now you start asking yourself question, are we currently going to expect a break of this support zone? That is another question. Are we going to expect a break of the support zone, or we're going to expect a continuation back up. So for now, we don't know what the price on gold is going to, what it's going to do. But in terms of why we sold gold, that is what I want to explain to you guys, sort of. All right? That's what I want to explain to you guys, sort of. So I'm going to take these drawings off my chart. All right? Let me just take this off. I'm trying to give you guys what I just explained now is giving you guys more of a directional bias in terms of what price, the direction of price on gold and the foreseeable future. All right? So this is what made us up into this position on gold. All right? Because if you notice, we had this sort of breather on gold at this zone. All right? So we had this sort of consolidation on gold at this zone, and then we had a first high created here on the 4 hours time frame on gold. We had a first high created here on the 4 hours time frame on gold, right? So we had a first high, and then we had this first high, and then price came back down around this zone, and then we had this sort of accumulation movement on gold going sideways before we had this sort of impulse move, and then we had price go back up to this zone and then create a double top. We had this double top that the price on gold sort of created here at this zone. So we had this high, so price came back up to sort of retest this high, and then we had this week. This week signifies that stop losses and orders of traders that have been placed around this zone. With this week, the dealers have actually liquidated and taken out stop losses of traders that have been placed here. And then if you notice, we had this sort of impulse movement on gold, and gold started to drop immediately. And then we actually opted into this position on gold from this high here. I think we started selling gold around 2039. I think so. We started selling gold around 2039, and so far, gold has actually been tipping. We've been enjoying the movement on gold on the community, and gold has actually dropped over 1,000 pips. So, and we're still holding our position. We're still looking forward to what gold is going to do from this low. If we're going to have a break of this support zone, or if we're going to have a bounce of this support zone, and price on gold push back up. So time will tell in terms of what our directional bias on gold would be. But for now, we're still sort of holding our position. That is our sell position on gold. So this is what made us what sold gold. And just like I explained also on the weekly time frame, the bounce of this resistance zone here that we had here, this sort of triple top here that we had here, that was what actually was signified that price on gold is actually what's going to go bearish. And then we spotted this beautifully crafted double top here on the daily time frame. And then this is what I also call the trap zone. I also what call this the trap zone. And then we had this trap zone that actually was sort of formed here on the 4 hours time frame, and then immediately we started buying, and then since we started selling rather, and then since then gold has actually been dipping. And if you notice, gold has been also sort of been ranging sideways around this zone here. So, and then are we going to be expecting to see some further sideways sort of movement on gold and then make impulse move down? So time will tell. So guys, so that is the bias on gold and what we've been looking at, and why we actually took this opportunity on gold. And then this is our channel, and this is the trade, and this is the entry on gold. We sold with 0.1 lot size, and then we've been selling at started selling at 2048. That is over here, 2048, and then the price on gold so far has been 1,074 pips on gold, and we're currently making over 1,000 pips on gold. So it's been an amazing movement, and then we are still sort of holding our position on gold until we started seeing some sort of until we started seeing some sort of movement around this zone, because this is a critical zone. Just like I said, this is a critical zone that gold is currently sitting at this point in time. But I don't want to close my position right now until I start seeing some sort of indecision movement around these levels. So when I start seeing some indecision sort of movement around these levels here, then I could sort of close my position. But for now, I think I'm still going to hold my position and see if the price on gold is going to break down below this zone, and then for me to continue to hold my trade. All right. So guys, I hope you learned something from this video, and if you do, in the comment section, just tell me what you feel about this video, and if you would like us to create more of this video as well, this concept of video, and then we'll do well to actually create more of this kind of video for you guys. You guys should also tell me what you think in the comment section below in regards to this this video, and also make sure you like, you subscribe, because you're on route to growing this community, this YouTube channel to a very, very maximum standard, all right? And then try as much as you can to like the video, subscribe, and share to your friends and colleagues who might actually find this video helpful and stuff like that, all right? So